Today we're going to make this super easy, quick and authentic spinach and ricotta pasta recipe. For this recipe you'll need 200 grams of dried pasta, I'm using rigatoni, 250 grams of washed spinach leaves, 150 grams of fresh ricotta, 1 large shallot or a few small ones, a little parmesan, a shot of milk, but this could also be water, some extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper. This recipe is enough to feed 2 people on its own or 3 people with something to the side. The idea of this video is to make a pasta dish in less time than it takes to cook the pasta. So I'm putting this on to cook first. Into boiling salted water goes the rigatoni and give them a stir. The packet says a 14-minute cook time, so I'm setting a timer for 14 minutes. Whilst I'm at the stove, I'm placing a frying pan onto a low heat, ready for the next step. The first thing to prepare is the shallots. Slice the tops off, then slice them in half through the middle. Then peel off the papery layer as well as the first layer of flesh. This first layer is generally dry and it always burns in the pan and goes bitter. I just save all of these bits in a bag in my freezer until I have enough to make a stock. It's free flavour and it's better than what you can buy from the supermarket. That's a win-win in anybody's book. These shallots are a bit small and fiddly, but that's all my veg guy had this week. So as always, we'll make it work. As all my French friends used to say to me in the kitchen, c'est la vie, Benny boy, c'est la vie. Lay the shallots on the flat cut side and slice across, holding the root with your fingers until you have nice thin slices. Scoop them up and over to the preheated frying pan, add a splash of olive oil, the sliced shallots and a pinch of salt. Cook them for a minute or so until they are translucent, then add all of the spinach if it will fit. If it doesn't fit, then add what you can, let it wilt and add the rest. And of course, it's obligatory to drop at least half the spinach when doing this. Once you've rounded up all the leaves into the pan, place a lid on. This is going to steam and wilt the spinach a lot quicker than not using a lid. Whilst you're at the stove, give the pasta a stir so nothing is sticking together. Next, get a large mixing bowl and add the ricotta, a little drizzle of olive oil, a splash of milk, this could also be some of your pasta water, and a pinch of freshly cracked black pepper. I made this ricotta because I find it can be pretty lackluster from the store and sometimes overpriced for what it is. The recipe is published on my channel around a year ago. If you're interested, check it out. All you need is a litre of milk, some lemon juice or vinegar, and some salt. Super easy, and you've got fresh cheese in 5 minutes. Whisk that for a minute or two until you have a creamy consistency. If your ricotta is a bit firmer than mine, then you can add a splash more milk to help loosen it up a little. You can use an electric whisk, a stand mixer or a food processor if you like. I just like using a hand whisk because it's easier, less washing up, and it means I've burnt some calories so I can eat more pasta or maybe a dessert. Back to the spinach. By this point it should be well wilted and there should be some visible water in the pan. Season with a little salt, turn the heat up a little to get things frying and to evaporate off most of that excess liquid. Stay with the pan at this point, stirring and moving the spinach until you have something that looks like this with just a smidge of liquid or moisture left in the pan. Turn the heat under the pan off and let it sit until you're ready to serve. By this point your pasta should be about done. Give it a bite, make sure it's cooked, then drain it off and give it a shake to get it as dry as possible. Leave that to sit for a minute to steam off a little. Grab your pan of spinach, add it to the bowl with the ricotta and mix everything really well. This should loosen up the ricotta a little more and you should be left with something creamy like this. Add the dry hot pasta to the bowl as well. Mix everything together, taste for seasoning and add more salt and pepper if needed. Serve into a bowl and top with a little parmesan and a drizzle of olive oil. This recipe is simple, easy, quick to pull off, and it's delicious. It's the perfect weeknight meal for anybody with limited time who wants to eat well. If you're looking for another quick and easy pasta recipe, go check this video out next.